I saw this from EJI.org. I've read this information before. We're going to talk about it briefly here, and we'll continue this on Monday's show. Did you know in Oregon, you ever wonder why Oregon is one of the whitest states in the country? There's a reason for that. It wasn't just by accident. On June 26, 1844, the Oregon Territory banned free African Americans. See, when we deal with a history of slavery and we deal with repairing the damage, this is why study is necessary. One, because Americans are very ignorant of history. That's not attacking Americans. I'm just saying it's the educational system. Americans are very ignorant of history. So America must have a massive history lesson. And when you deal with things like, let me see here. There was the one from, we talked about this story here, how almost 60% of Americans know little or nothing about Juneteenth. Okay, we talked about that earlier in the week. So if they don't know about Juneteenth, how much do they know about the history of slavery? This is from the New York Times. Okay, this article here from June 16, 2021. Most Americans know little or nothing about Juneteenth, poll finds. MSNBC put it at 62% of Americans know little or nothing about Juneteenth. So if they don't know about Juneteenth, which deals with the history of slavery, then how much do they really know about slavery? Then you have there's an article, the other one I was looking for, the one I was really looking for, is dealing with U.S. Constitution. We talked about this from CBS this morning, January 19th, 2021. And this deals with how most Americans don't know what's in the U.S. Constitution. Well, the U.S. Constitution ties to history. It's not separate from history. That's at the Philadelphia Convention, 1787. Read this one here, and there's a video in it. We shared the video here on our show. Pull up, pop up here. Most Americans don't know what's in the Constitution. A crisis of civic education. A good portion of them voted for Donald Trump. January 19th, 2021. Most Americans don't know what's in the Constitution. A crisis of civic education. This ties to history. This is directly related to history. Let me see here. Okay, so read that article. We talked about this here on the show. There's a video in here to watch from CBS this morning that breaks this down. They go out on the street and ask people things like, how many members of the House of Representatives are there? Who's the Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court? All these things. Most people can't even ask these questions. These are people that vote. Most of them can't answer these questions. How much you think they know about the history of slavery and what happened after slavery? When you try to repair the damage. So let me ask you this question here, right? When the election time takes place, or when the bills, even if it's not election time, say for instance, you have a judge that's coming up for a nomination for the U.S. Supreme Court. You know, you'll see political ads on TV saying, call your member of the Senate, tell them vote to approve this judge. Call your member of the Senate, say no on this judge, right? I've seen that with Supreme Court judges. When you have local elections, or it could be a bill in the House of Representatives or the Senate, and they'll say, vote yes on proposal A. Proposal A will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Vote no on proposal B. Proposal B is bad. Vote no on proposal B. Proposal B will do this. This is bad for the city. This is bad for America, right? We see political ads. How many ads have you seen for HR 40? Political ads are designed to do what? Educate people, give them 30 seconds, 60 seconds about what's in the bill, why they should vote for it, why they shouldn't vote for it, to educate, tell the platform, inform, give a call to action, pick up the phone, call your member of Congress, etc. today, tell them vote for this, don't vote for that, go to this website, research more, blah, blah, blah. How many ads have you seen for HR 40? Hopefully we'll see some soon. because America has to have a massive history lesson, and you use media to educate people and to shape the way people think, feel, act, and behave. How many commercials have you seen for reparations? How many commercials have you seen for HR 40? Hopefully we'll see some soon. All right. So this one here. Oregon Territory bans free black people. On June 26, 1844, the Legislative Committee of the territory, then known as Oregon County, this is before Oregon becomes a state in the Union. On June 26, 1844, the Legislative Committee of the territory, then known as Oregon County, passed the first of a series of black exclusion laws. These were called black exclusion laws. The law dictated that free African Americans were prohibited from moving into Oregon County. Prohibited from moving into Oregon County, and those who violated the ban could be whipped not less than 20, no more than 39 stripes or lashes. If they violated the ban, they could be whipped. This is in 1844. Now that December 1844, the law was amended to substitute forced labor for whipping. I guess they developed some type of moral compass. They said, well, don't whip them, just work them. That December 1844, the law was amended to substitute forced labor for whipping. It specified that African Americans who stayed within Oregon would be hired at a public auction, and that the hirer would be responsible for removing the hiree out of the territory after the prescribed period of forced service was rendered. This law was enforced even though slavery and involuntary servitude were illegal in Oregon County. So they banned free African Americans. Okay. They didn't have slavery, but they're going to have forced labor. They're going to have forced labor of free African Americans. The preamble to a later exclusion law passed in 1849 explained legislators' belief that, quote, now pay attention to this. It explained legislators' belief that it would be highly dangerous to allow free Negroes and mulattoes to reside in the territory of Oregon County or to intermix with Indians, instilling feelings of hostility toward the white race. What would make you think that after you ban free black people and then you say if they stay, you're going to whip them, but then you have a change of heart and say, we're not going to whip them, we just going to have a public auction and sell you off for labor? What would make you think that black people would have hostility towards the white race? Now, the Oregon Constitution of 1857, see, it goes back to the state constitutions. Oregon State Constitution 1857, Texas State Constitution 1876, Mississippi Constitution 1890, Louisiana State Constitution 1898. Goes back to these state constitutions. The Oregon Constitution of 1857 included racial exclusion provisions against African Americans and Asian Americans. The document declared that African Americans outside of Oregon were not permitted to, quote, come reside or be within the state. Come reside or be within the state. Prohibited African Americans from owning property. This is also the racial exclusion provisions of the Oregon State Constitution of 1857, or Oregon Constitution 1857, also prohibited African Americans from owning property or performing contracts, and prescribed punishment for those who employed, harbored, or otherwise helped African Americans. Now, between 1850 and 1860, in the midst of this exclusion and discrimination, African Americans were never constituted more than 1% of the population in the American Pacific Northwest between 1840 and 1860. Oregon which joined the Union as a free state on February 14th, 1859, stands as a clear illustration that racial discrimination and oppression against African Americans was also widespread in jurisdictions where slavery was illegal. So just because they didn't have slavery didn't mean they didn't have discriminatory laws against African Americans. Oregon, which joined the Union as a free state on February 14th, 1859, stands as a clear illustration that racial discrimination and oppression against African Americans was also widespread in jurisdictions where slavery was illegal. As of 2018, the U.S. Census Bureau estimated that less than 3% of Oregon residents were African Americans.
Black on Purpose Television Network. Yes, Black on Purpose Television Network. All black, all positive, all the time. The largest black-owned streaming television network in the world, bringing our people together worldwide, controlling our messages, our stories, our way. Black TV the way it should be. Black music, Black history, and more. 30 plus channels, thousands of shows. Black on Purpose Television Network. Subscribe now.
Gain knowledge in minutes from insightful summaries of progressive and socially conscious books. Blacklisted gives you access to curated content that'll satisfy your curiosity to learn and understand different perspectives. Empower yourself through inspirational and actionable ideas. It's easy to read or listen to on the go. Blacklisted. Empower yourself. Start your free trial today.
We all know the cannabis industry is headed toward an uprise in the past decade. What happens when there is a brand that brings this uprise in a blow? The cannabis industry welcomes her uprise. Hustle her hemp. Delivering excellence with pride is her watchword, and how you choose to embrace it makes it a priority. From cultivating rich cannabis into exquisite and tastefully finished CBD products to delivery, Hustle Her Hemp leaves no stone unturned. Hustle Her Hemp's mission is to empower women of color by building business and creating legacies, uniting beauty, health, and business. We are a pure definition of how we want the CBD industry to become in the future. While we are redefining innovation, we bring the same energy to improving the quality of life. Hustle Her Hemp is the new uprise.
Hi, I'm Joel Wilson, President and CEO of JCW Computer Consulting LLC, a technology implementation firm with over 20 years of satisfying customers. We offer a full spectrum of industry top-tier branded services. We are an authorized partner or reseller for Lenovo, Zoom, T-Mobile, Microsoft 365 and Surface tablets, Google Workspace, Acer, Asus, Samsung, PCmatic security software, and many more. Our online store features laptops, Chromebooks, computers, printers, accessories, and software. Businesses, take advantage of our free 1-hour Zoom tech consultation and know we offer top nationwide high-speed internet service providers, voice over IP, and cellular phone services. Home users, don't miss our current in-stock Chromebook inventory. Please visit us at jcwcc.com or call 215-877